All right, the final article of today. This is Zero Hedge. This is kind of the wrap up. This is kind of the whole picture here. Party while you can. Central banks are ready to pop the everything bubble. This is a massive bubble, debt-based, everything bubble, cryptocurrency bubble. Everything's a bubble ultimately because everything rises and then comes down. It may take months, years, decades to come down, but everything goes up and then comes down ultimately. Many people do not realize that America is not only entering a new year, but within the next month we will be entering a new economic era. In early February, Yellen is set to leave the Federal Reserve and be replaced by Fed Chair nominee Jerome Powell. Now, to be clear, the Fed Chair, along with the bank governors, do not set bank policy. Policy for most central banks around the world is dictated in Switzerland by the Bank of International Settlements. Fed Chairman Yellen are mere mascots implementing policy initiatives as ordered. This is why we are now seeing supposedly separate central banking institutions around the world acting in unison, first with stimulus, then with fiscal tightening. Isn't it interesting? That would be collusion anywhere else, where all the central banks implemented quantitative easing all at the same time. You know they were absolutely colluding. And that's something that the public didn't vote for. Economic stimulus, all this kind of stuff, money printing. It goes on. However, it is important to note that each new Fed chair does tend to signal a new shift in action for the central bank. Alan Greenspan oversaw low interest rates, easy money phase for the Fed, which created conditions for derivatives and bank credit bubble and subsequent crash of 2008. Bernanke oversaw stimulus and bailout phase, flooding the markets with massive amounts of fiat and engineering and even larger bubble in stocks, bonds, and just about every other asset class. Yellen managed the tapering phase, in which stimulus had been carefully, systematically diminished while still maintaining delusional stock market euphoria. Now comes the era of Jerome Powell, who will oversee the last stages of fiscal tightening, the reduction of the Fed balance sheet, faster rate increases, and the final implosion. As they increase rates, the potential for implosion of the bubble, the popping of the bubble comes. As I warned before, Trump won the election in 2016, Trump presidency would inevitably be followed by an economic crisis, and this will be facilitated by the Federal Reserve pulling the plug on fiat life support measures, which kept the illusion of recovery going for the past several years. The public is being suddenly conditioned to view Powell as if he is an extension of the Trump administration. And many people have said, if anybody's going to manage the bankruptcy of America, it would be Trump, because he has huge experience with that. He knows how to manage that. But it will be a great reset. There will be loss of lives. There will be loss of fortunes and houses and these sorts of things. This is pretty significant. I think the time is coming to an end. But I think there's probably, like I said, I said it before a month or so, 2 months ago, that I think 2008 is the last year of kind of peace and safety and good times, easy money, and relatively easy life in the West. And I really think that this is it. This is party while you can time, although really it's get prepared, get to find Jesus while you can. That's what it is for the wise people. But I don't think we have much more than a year left before things start getting really, really hard. Interest rates possibly skyrocket. These bubbles start exploding. Cryptocurrency starts getting massively regulated. People are going to lose a lot of money. And maybe that is going to be the trigger of the economic collapse, the billions of dollars that could be lost on the cryptocurrency once the government start regulating that stuff. And people start either pulling their money out, or they just become worthless because a cyber attack happens, or hacking, etc. So these are times to be aware. These are times to be careful. These are times to ensure that you know Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. He's coming back soon. And the rapture event could occur at any time, but I think Bible prophecy is going to be fulfilled, whether the rapture occurs when we would like it to or not. And an economic collapse, I think, is the first thing. And I suspect that's going to come in a year's time or so. This is the party time. This is the last year. I kind of believe at this point. This is my opinion at this point in time. 2018 is the last, quote, good year. the last in the 7 good years. Well, not the last in the 7 good years, but nearing the end of the 7-year period of good years. As in Joseph's day, the 7 good years, 7 bad years. we're in the second half of the 7 good years, and I think it's downhill from here in terms of the economy, the general world situation, geopolitically, etc. This is a warning. I'm saying it now, and we're not going to experience this for a year. But this is the last year. I'm going to put it out there, and so you can say I told you so if I'm wrong, or you can say, you know what, you had it right. This is the last good year, the last comfortable year, I think, in the first world, in the Western world, in North America. We'll see how it plays out.